Hey guys, okay, so I am so excited about today because I got something brand new. And literally, I was stalking Ulta and I saw that they had gone into stores early, but when I looked online, they didn't have it showing that you could find it in the store, so I just thought I'd call. And what was I calling about, you ask? Juvias Place Foundation. Yes, my Ulta had it as of like Sunday, I think, which was the 2nd of June. So anyways, I went and got it just a couple days ago on Monday, and look, we kind of match. I'm doing this wear test and first impressions for you guys. First thing in the morning, it is 7:06, so it is early in the morning. I'm about to actually go to work, so I'm trying to hurry and film so I don't get late to work, but I don't think I will. I'll be fine. So anyways, I'm doing this one. They had every shade there, which was awesome. They had all the testers so you could try to pick your shade. I just honestly got the four, not lightest, the fairest, I guess, and did them on my hand, tried to match me. The first two were very, very yellow undertoned. The third one, I don't remember the names of them. The third one was very orangey. This is the fourth shade down. This one's 710. Marika, I don't know. But this one's a 4 shade down, but it was the most neutral of the 4. So hopefully, even if it isn't my perfect shade, with it being more neutral, that'll be better for me. That's not my only first impression. I have been needing a new sponge. So this is I've already wet it, so this is when it's wet. The new L'Oreal, well, it's not new anymore really. But this is the L'Oreal sponge, and it's just got the big shape here, the flat part, and then it's got the pointed tip. And I've heard, you don't really hear about it much now, I don't think, but I did hear a lot of good stuff about it. So I wanted to give this a try since I needed a new sponge anyway. And then I am finally getting around to trying this No Filter Concealer by ColourPop. This was real hard to shade match as well, and then I realized when I swatched them on my hands, and now everything probably does this, but when I swatched this on my hand, it oxidized a little bit, so it was hard to pick a color. This one's super light. I got Fair 4, but it seemed, again, more neutrally, less orange, and not quite so pink. So we'll see how this goes. Then I've been wanting to find the perfect concealer or foundation or something for cream contouring. So I found this L'Oreal Infallible, the Full Wear Concealer. This is the color Chestnut. This was not in the stores, but I picked it because online and from swatches that I saw, it looked the most cool toned for contouring, because everything else that I've seen, or everything else that I've tried, honestly, the lighter browns are so warm and orangey, and that's how they pull on my skin, so I'm hoping this will do the job. So let's read about the foundation, since that's the main focus of this first impressions wear test video. It's the I Am Magic Radiant Long Lasting Creamy and Comfortable Foundation. Our second skin creamy foundation offers a smooth application with a soft, natural, and soft matte finish to give flawless coverage. A formula to even out the complexion, refine the skin texture, and erase blemishes, maintaining the initial finish throughout the day. Suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and oily skin. Free from paraben, oil, and a big long word that I can't say. But I guess we're glad that it doesn't have that in there. All right, so let's get started. I'm so excited. I've seen nothing but good reviews about this, and it's just this little squeeze tube. My shirt says readers make leaders. At our office today, we're doing our reach out and read program it's like an Alabama reading program for kids. It's got a seal, so I'm all decked out ready for that today. So what better way to test this makeup than a full busy day at work? Okay, I'm just going to squirt it on the back of my hand so I can try to show you the color. I don't know how much I'm going to need. It might be too much. So see, there's the color. It's pretty neutral looking. I don't know if it oxidizes. I don't know how it does when it dries down. It is really thick though. You see it's not moving really on my hand at all. So I don't know what's better, honestly, a brush or a blender sponge, but I always do a blender sponge. So I'm not going to test it out with a brush because that's not what I do in my daily life. Alright, so I'm just going to get some on the sponge, super thick. And we can see how it covers up this little friend that came to visit. Ooh, okay. That's a lot. Okay, gonna keep on going. I don't know if y'all can see this. But it looks like it's like instantly oxidizing on my face. The only thing, I really don't know if that shows up, but it looks like it's brown. I'm still trying to not get makeup on my eyebrows. It's really hard though, because normally I'm just slapping it everywhere. And I haven't dipped in again. It's all from that same dip, and I have like all that on my hand. So I probably just wasted some, but it's cool. It's cool. Looks like I could probably use this as my concealer, but I'm not. Alright, for the sake of this review, after a couple more minutes, I feel like it has oxidized here as well. And something that I thought would be super neutral is a lot more not neutral once it gets on my face, because I feel like all this kind of turned more orange. So maybe I should have gotten one of those first couple of colors. We'll see. Once I get it all on and blended, we'll see how it wears throughout the day and if it changes anymore. They didn't have their concealer that they launched with this or the face powder in stores. I think they were trying to get a feel for the foundation and how it was received in the store, because they already have Juvia's Place like eyeshadows and like the highlighters and other face products like that in the store, but this is the first like complexion product in the store. So like I barely dipped in one more time just to get a little bit on my forehead, but I feel like I did get completely full coverage. Like this, the only reason I can still see it is because it's raised. On the monitor, it honestly looks pretty good. I don't know why. I feel like it's pulling a little bit warm over here. Maybe we'll just have to see how it dries down throughout the day. But, I mean, it blended out beautifully. Like, I had no trouble. I'm still blending because I feel like I had so much on my face. And I really do like the sponge. Side note, since we're testing that out. The sponge is soft. I feel like it blended really well. I like this wide, flat area for, like, stamping it on. My biggest fear is that I never blended enough when I'm filming because I can't tell because I'm not in my normal environment. And that it's going to look crazy when I go somewhere else. Let's look at it close up. So yeah, it's got a little bit of sheen to it. I don't know if it picks up on camera, but it's definitely not super matte at initial. I'm sure it dries down and sets a little bit, but it looks really good, and I always set my stuff with powder anyway, so that honestly doesn't matter to me. Color-wise, I still think it's pretty good. Like, now it looks like it completely matches my neck, which is hard to do. Because, honestly, I still have trouble figuring out if I do need to go more neutral. I definitely know I don't need to go warm-toned. And stuff that pulls yellow gets super yellow on me. So I know I don't need to go that route. I always try to go neutral because I feel like that's the safest road of color schemes. Okay, so up close we don't look super makeup-y. It's a very even application. I think it looks really good. It's not settling into my forehead yet, which sometimes even my L'Oreal Infallible one sets into my forehead kind of right away. I'm going to, just so I can see for myself, honestly, I feel like that looks so orange on my hand, so I'm going to squeeze that a little bit more just to see if we can tell a difference. It's going to be hard to tell. But yeah, see how that little dot right here is a lot more like cool toned, and this has pulled way orange. It's not terrible oxidizing, but it's certainly not ideal. But I think It's almost impossible for foundations to not oxidize anyway, but I feel like now it looks fine on my face. It's not as orange as I thought it was. Also, on my face, I don't really do primers that much, so I didn't do a primer with this one because I just want to see if I'm wearing it on an everyday kind of thing, how it would wear. So I didn't do a primer, I just did my normal Cetaphil oil-free moisturizer, which is what I use every day. Time for this long-awaited ColourPop concealer. I feel like I've wanted to try it forever, and I got the Fair 4 shade. I think everybody knows about it at this point. It was like $6, so that's awesome. Also, that Juvias Place foundation, $20, so that's pretty good too. All right, I'm going to do just a little bit so we can see how that blends out. I feel like with the ColourPop concealers, people have either really loved it or been indifferent. I don't think I've seen anybody that's just hated it, but they are like, it's not the best thing in the world, so we'll see. Okay, well, that took 2 seconds. I didn't do a lot. Normally I bring it down a little bit further, but I wanted to really like give the foundation a test on its own kind of everywhere. The coverage is pretty good. Like I said, if I did a little bit more, I'd probably get more coverage, but I mean, literally it took me no time to blend that little bit out. So for the sake of testing it out though, I'm going to add just a tad more, but it definitely, I wouldn't say it's like 100% full coverage, but it's pretty good. Do a little bit down the nose as well. So for the sake of the good packaging, and if it blends well and covers well and doesn't super crease, I mean, for $6, it might be a little bit better than that e.l.f. one for $5. We'll see. We'll have to see how it wears that day, because that e.l.f. one wears beautifully throughout the day, and if you set it just right, it doesn't look cakey or bad or anything like that. I'm going to stop there on the concealer. I probably should not be doing this as a first impression on a work day, but let's do it for you guys. Alright, and I'm not going to do much, like at all. So this is the color. Like I said, I got chestnut. It seemed like one of the coolest tones of brown. I'm just going to do a few little dots. Oh, that was a big dot. Okay. Alright, I'm kind of nervous. Why did I do this? I gotta leave in like no time. Well, it's definitely pigmented. Well, those few little dots became a lot of dots really quick. We're gonna bring some of that pigment up here. So this really big dot is gonna be a really big ordeal. Y'all, I feel like I hardly put anything. Alright, we're going to try to bring some down the nose a tad. Well, we are going to be sculpted today. Alright, so I just did a couple little bits on my nose, and then I'm going to go back over the foundation part and just kind of try to blend that out a little bit before I have an orange nose. Taking the foundation part over this. Try to make it more seamless. But this is not a technique I do all the time, so especially with a new product, it's a concealer. I should know better. It's going to be crazy pigmented, but we make and save it. Okay, as for the color though, I think the color is exactly what I needed. I feel like it didn't pull too warm. It gave me the contour I needed. Without pulling orange. It's definitely warmer than a typical contour shade, I think. But I think it's the best I've tried so far, and it's a L'Oreal concealer, so it's not like crazy expensive. Okay, so what I'm going to do is finish up the rest of my face, and then we'll come back with the final thoughts. Alright, so this is the completed look. I had no trouble blending my powder, the bronzer, the blush, highlight, all that kind of stuff on top. I did do a little bit powder bronzer just to kind of even it out. I don't know. I didn't spray it with setting spray. A lot of days going to work I don't. So I wanted to see how it wore as far as a normal work day. So it is 7:44, and work days are great as far as wear test days, obviously, because I'm out and about. It's like 95 plus degrees outside. We'll get hot, we'll get sweaty, I'm sure at some point in the day. We have this big event going on at the office, so I'll be dealing with that. And then I usually don't wash my makeup off until at least 7:30, 8, even later at night. So this will be like at least a full 12-hour wear test, maybe more. So that's exciting. Once I powdered, obviously, I do look super matte. I feel like the color is still good. It matched me pretty well, actually. When I was in there finishing up the rest of my makeup, I felt a little orange. I don't know, you guys. I'm just not used to the cream contour, and maybe I'm just not finding the right products. But then I know people that have contoured with that exact same thing, and I feel like theirs always comes out different. I don't know. Maybe I just need practice. It doesn't look bad, but I mean, what else? The only thing I can say that I did notice, and I don't know if it's the foundation underneath, it's gotta be when I put my highlighter on. Usually I do a really light highlight when I go to work, just enough to add a little bit of brightness to the cheekbones. But when I added it, I felt like I had to do more. I don't know if the foundation was mattifying it that much that it didn't like pop like it usually does. I mean, you can see it now, but I feel like I had to add more to get to that point, if that makes sense. So, I don't know, that's just something to think about. But I love the way it feels. I don't feel it. It's not making me itchy. It's not causing me any problems. Everything blended great on top. So, here is the finished look. And like I said, we will get to wear it for a full day, and I'll let you know. I'm going to try not to blot or powder. I mean, let's get real. I never blot or powder. Like ever. If I do, every now and then, right here on my nose gets kind of shiny, and I'll just get some tissue while I'm in the bathroom and blot my nose with that. So, but I'm going to try not to do even that today, just so we can kind of see how this does on its own. But right now I'm looking pretty good. I'm pleased with it. But yeah, no real cakiness anywhere that I can see. The concealer still looks good. So I'm excited. I'm excited that this is a $20 foundation. I found a good shade match, and I think it's going to hold up well, and I'm thinking it's going to be a good summer foundation if it stays matte but comfortable like it says it will. So we'll see. I'll give you my final thoughts tonight. Okay guys, I held on as long as possible. It is 6:49, so not quite 12 hours, but close enough for the kind of day that I had. So let's look at it close. Now, I did fib. I said that I wasn't going to spray it with anything. When I got in the bathroom and finished putting on the rest of my makeup, at that time, it looked so dry. It felt like I just needed something. So I did use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I did not use much at all. I felt like I just needed something to like settle it down. I'm not sure if that affected anything, but I need to do it again. Basically more in my full-on regular routine, where I don't think I need to do it with the cream contour and that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that messed it up, and it's not bad. I just need to play with it a few more times. I like first impressions, so you can see people's initial reaction, because I think that's important. But I also like full reviews after somebody's done it a few different days and used it in their normal setting and that kind of thing several times, so they can see how it wears throughout multiple days and figure out what products work best with that product, because it may be a great product, but if you use it with the wrong primer or the wrong setting powder or something, it may not work out as well. So I still like it. Also, I forgot to mention this morning, I did notice there was absolutely no scent. I'm kind of used to the L'Oreal one that kind of has a slight scent, and it's not a bad scent. It doesn't smell too perfumey, but it's there. But what I can tell with this one, there was absolutely no scent when I put the other one on this morning, and I wanted to mention that because I thought about it. And as y'all can see, highlighter's still there, bronzer and blush all still there, so that's good. It lasted as far as that goes. The only thing is, like, it did rub off a little bit on this spot right here, but honestly, I mean, I could have probably worked a little bit more to get that spot covered up first thing this morning and set it better maybe, but it's also right there on my cheek, so it's easy to rub off. I don't know if it comes off. Yeah, you can see I'm pretty shiny, and like I said, I would have blotted at some point today. I just didn't for the sake of this. I don't know if it's supposed to be long wear. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I feel like it's broken down a good bit right here on my chin, and it's separated more. I'm okay with foundations that kind of rub away, but when they do this kind of separation thing, it's kind of funky. It definitely settled into this crease a lot, but I do normally pat that out every time it settles. Almost all foundations do that. It really didn't settle too bad in my forehead line, so that's good. Other than that, for the length of time that I wore it and how absolutely hot and humid it was outside, and just my crazy day, my full work day and everything, I mean, that's to be expected. And it's still on there, and honestly, it still looks good, and a blot and a powder touch-up would be all I would need to be perfectly fine. So I feel like this still looks really, really good. And like I said, I am going to play with it some more and kind of see what products work best with this, because honestly, color-wise, this is one of the best. One of the best that matches me, and it doesn't oxidize, and it's that good neutral undertone, and I feel like it still just matches me perfectly. So I'm really excited about that. I love the packaging. I love that it's a squeeze tube. There's so many pros to this that the tiny, tiny negatives I'm going to try to make work. So I will update in a future video or in the comments. I'll talk about how, after wearing it for a few days, how I feel about it. Okay, so this is pretty zoomed in. You can see it kind of rubbed off here, and I did touch my face a lot. I honestly tried to never touch my face, but I did a lot today for some reason. I guess because it was hot. I don't know. And then it's kind of rubbed off here, and it's settled right here. But like I said, for the most part, everything's still on my face. It still looks good, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, guys, that completes this first impression for the Juvias Place I Am Magic foundation. I feel like it is going to be a really good foundation. I've got to hammer down the details and work with it a little more, but overall, I'm very, very pleased with it. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I do first impressions, makeup videos, and all kinds of other stuff here on this channel. And I upload every week, so you can always come back for more, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.